Tonight, NIU students are angry at the budget games in Springfield. The governor came to town to talk about the budget, but did he hear? And for seniors, the budget mess could take away lunchtime. We'll explain. NTC News Tonight starts now.
You're watching NTC News, DeKalb County's only television news source, on the campus of Northern Illinois University and from the Northern Television Center. This is NTC News Tonight.
We want a budget! When do we want it? Now!
Months after a state budget should have been ironed out, hundreds of students take to the MLK Commons with chants that could be heard across campus. Good evening, I'm Aaron Barogan. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Stoney Royce. Without a budget, many students may find themselves unable to attend NIU soon. NTC reporter Darwin Minnis tells us how the squeeze on educational funding from MAP grants led to this protest.
It's cold and rainy outside today, but as you can see behind me, that is not stopping the students from fighting to have their voices heard, and all the way to Springfield, where a state budget has yet to be passed.
We want a budget! When do we want it? Now!
People came out in masses to voice their opinions on the state budget impasse.
Who wants a state budget?
Since July, Illinois has been without a budget. Governor Rauner, a Republican, and the Democratic-controlled General Assembly have not been able to see eye to eye, leaving many state-funded social services without money.
Ruining labor unions, holding hostage the universities, holding hostage the women's shelters. It's simply wrong.
Students united will never be defeated. Students united will never
Students are affected in the form of MAP grants, state aid given to those that need it. Without a budget, the grants are on hold. Carlos Lugo and his organization Soul, supporting opportunities for Latinos, are just a few of the 5,700 students at NIU that receive MAP grants.
That MAP grants are really important for us and to continue our studies here and improve our communities back home. That's most important.
We want to get past the impasse.
NIU has credited MAP grants for this semester out of their own pockets, but there's no sure sign they'll be able to do that again in the future. State Representative Robert Pritchard expressed his concern with the impasse.
The leaders of both parties are holding firm on their positions. They aren't ready to compromise, but compromise they must.
The governor was on campus during the rally, hosting a dinner with area business leaders later that night, but declined to speak at the rally due to his schedule. Protesters set up at the doors of his event. At a quick meeting with media before his event, the governor shared his views on the budget.
Here's a sad fact. Because the legislature has refused to vote on very common sense, bipartisan reforms, we don't have a budget. It's ridiculous we don't have a budget. It's unconscionable. The legislature just refuses to do what they should and vote for reforms and get real balance.
Regardless of what side you're on, there was one common theme throughout the rally.
Get it done.
Now, students here want to make it known that this is not an attack on one party or the other. Everyone here realizes this is more than just one person's job to fix this. They really just want everything to be cleared up and a state budget signed. This is Darwin Minnis with NTC News.
Thanks, Darwin. Governor Rauner himself wasn't actually at the rally, but he did meet with business leaders at the Duke Ellington Ballroom last week. Students, businesses, and organization leaders heard the governor talk about the state budget crisis during a speech before the County Economic Development Corporation. He talked mainly about cutting regulations that stall business growth. Rauner says he still plans to meet with the legislative leaders who stand against him. The agenda is still being worked out.
A fire that happened at Sycamore High School is still under investigation. Last week, one of the administrative offices caught fire. The Sycamore Fire Department responded and confined the fire to one single office. Police do not believe that the fire was an accident. The investigation is ongoing with the help of the fire department and the Illinois Fire Marshal's office.
2 DeKalb men are arrested after police tracked a package to the home containing 8 pounds of marijuana. Police say postal inspectors tracked the package from California to 19-year-old Colin Castle. 23-year-old Keegan Bottoms then took the package from the house and was stopped by police shortly after leaving. Bottoms is being charged with trafficking, intent to deliver, and unlawful possession. Collins is charged with unlawful possession and paraphernalia.
What appears to have been a simple Ferris Bueller-style ruse may have backfired on a Sycamore man.
A family member dies, and you insult me.
You may remember from the movie that Bueller got a friend to pose as his girlfriend's father so they could all skip school and go on an adventure. DeKalb police say they encountered something a little bit like that when they stopped a juvenile teenage girl for a traffic offense last week. Police say the girl, 22-year-old Dylan Yasik, to pose as her father so she could be released. But police didn't buy the story. Police then told Yasik to turn herself in. He was charged with obstructing a police officer.
A new dog park has opened in DeKalb. Cats Park will be the new home for the permanent dog park. This park includes a 6-foot fence, a pool pad for summer days, and will be accessible for owners with disabilities. The park is divided into 2 areas, one side for small dogs and the other side for large dogs. It will replace the temporary park that is located in the softball field.
We've been talking about the budget crisis, and for some DeKalb seniors, it seems like they're going to have to find somewhere else to eat their lunch.
NTC reporter Chris Larson explains how the Voluntary Action Center might have to cut the senior luncheon program.
There's a lower turnout today, but a few seniors are still enjoying some fresh food at the senior luncheon program. The program is popular among seniors in the DeKalb County area and offers them a great opportunity to socialize and eat a nutritious meal. The Voluntary Action Center has been sponsoring the program for years and feels the program offers much more for seniors than some may think.
It's nutritious food, because folks don't tend to eat correctly when they're making just for themselves.
Though it may not look like it, these seniors and sponsors at the VAC are worried. The senior luncheon program and other programs operated by the VAC are in jeopardy. The state budget crisis is about to claim another victim, as the VAC will be making cuts to programs like the Senior Luncheon Program and Meals on Wheels.
The VAC is concerned that services like transportation could be cut as well.
In some rural areas of the county, services from Meals on Wheels have been cut down from 5 to 3 meals a week. In the DeKalb and Sycamore areas, meals are being cut down to 4 a week, and according to the VAC, these cuts are reducing a much-needed wellness check as well.
That really does have an impact for many, many of our people because they're not able maybe to provide that meal, to prepare that meal, and they very much need someone stopping in every day, making sure they're fine.
The Meals on Wheels programs have simply been cut, but other senior luncheon programs have been eliminated altogether. Most of the seniors and organizers try to remain optimistic and enjoy the food on their plate while it's still being provided. In DeKalb, Chris Larson, NTC News.
Well, today seems like a good day to sit outside and enjoy a picnic.
Let's just hope the rain is gone first, though. Emery Danins is out at our weather station now.
It is a great day to be outside. Temperatures are in the 70s, which is almost 20 degrees above average for this time of year, and the next couple of days will be very similar. Let's take a look at Tuesday, where we'll see temperatures in the low 70s with sunny skies. To hear about a chance of rain this weekend, stay with us. You're watching NTC News Tonight.
Been with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're all enjoying the very warm temperatures we've been experiencing today. Today's high of about 71 degrees is close to that record we set in 2000 of 76 degrees. And our overnight low this evening of about 47 is also pretty warm. If you're outside today, you saw a little bit of upper level clouds, but generally it is very sunny. Those winds were coming from the south, bringing with it those warm temperatures. Let's take a look at the larger scale and see why we've had all this sunshine today. We have this high pressure to the south of us, generally keeping us dry and bringing us sunshine today. And as we go into Tuesday, that high will push even further into our area, which will keep us again sunny on Tuesday. Then as we go into Wednesday, this low will start moving towards us, and later this week, this cold front will start coming our way and push through on Thursday and Friday, bringing colder temperatures for later this week. Let's take it back to tonight, where we'll see mostly clear conditions. An overnight low of 47 degrees, pretty warm out there for an overnight low. It should be pretty nice out this evening. And going into Tuesday, we'll see mostly sunny conditions with a high of about 71 degrees. And then on Tuesday night, mostly clear with pleasant conditions, an overnight low of about 52 degrees. And again, those winds still from the south bringing up those warm temperatures. Now let's take a look at our 5-day weather forecast. Again, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we see highs near 70 with sunny conditions, but as that cold front passes through our area, we do have a chance of rain on Friday, and those temperatures dropped about 10 degrees. And as we go into Saturday, even lower, a high of about 50 degrees on Saturday with sunny conditions. That's all for weather. Let's send it back to the desk.
We've been talking about the state budget's crisis tonight, and obviously what's going on in Springfield has finally awakened students to say, enough.
That is needed for state-funded schools. Let me hear you scream!
Here's another look at what it was like at the MLK Commons last week. They were loud, they were angry. They say they're fed up, especially when it comes to MAP grant money for school.
One of the key people behind last week's rally is here with us now. Nathan Loopstein is the president of the NIU Student Association. Thanks for taking a few minutes to be with us today, Nathan.
Thanks for having me.
Nathan, history shows us that NIU is not particularly a politically active campus. We've spoken with various people who've been here for many years, and no one can recall the last time we had a big protest of this kind.
How do you explain it? Do you think that population or the campus is changing?
You know, I think this is something that a lot of students got behind because it directly affects them and their peers, and it affects the experience that they're having here at school. And I think a lot of the millennials in our generation are very concerned about social issues, especially here on college campuses. And this is something that I think we've taken kind of as our own. And I think we're going to see more political and social activism from our students moving forward.
Some people were disappointed the turnout wasn't bigger. How frustrating did you find that?
Unfortunately, it is frustrating. I think we did a great job. I think we did get a lot of students out, but it's terribly hard to engage students in things like this because a lot of them aren't aware of how universal this is. If they don't receive MAP grant funding, they may not see the issue behind the rally or the protest. And you know, MAP grant funding affects a lot of students that go here, which in the larger scheme of things affects the students matriculating to NIU, retention, enrollment, which will in turn affect the quality of student experience at our school. So I am a little frustrated, but I think we did a great job. I think we far exceeded any expectation. And I think when we have more awareness to spread in the future, I think we'll get more people out and yield a more significant event.
Okay, well, the governor wasn't here to see the protest.
Right.
Do you think that they heard your message in Springfield?
Well, we did a few things. We knew he wouldn't be in the area of the Commons when the protest started. We knew he would be coming later, but we wanted to make it around that 4:30 time to make sure, you know, before people were leaving after work or before students were leaving after class, that they could still see the rally efforts and that they could partake in them. But I think a lot of things we've done, we wanted to make sure there was voter registration there, and we wanted to urge our students to write to their local representatives and things like that, and send messages and emails to Springfield. So just in case he didn't get quite the message from the rally, our voice was definitely heard, and the representatives that are supposed to be representing our interests as college students in this district know what to say when it comes time to vote.
So where do you go next with this? What's the next step?
It's essential just to keep those representatives accountable. Of course, Rauner has a strong stance on the MAP grant funding, but the budget impasse is just as harmful, and we need to make sure we're keeping those representatives accountable by contacting them by phone, by email, by lobbying Springfield ourselves, and by most importantly empowering and educating each other as students. Again, as I spoke earlier, a lot of the students aren't aware of how dire the situation is, and it's our job as students to make sure that we know the full extent of the situation, that we're helping each other build that education and awareness.
It sounds like there's still a lot of things in the works for you guys.
Yeah, not going to stop.
It's good. And just to put it into perspective, universities like NIU have now been operating for 5 months without a budget and state funding.
So one has to wonder, how long can we continue to do that? Nathan, hey, thanks again for coming out here with us and shedding some light on this.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
A man who shot a robber holding a paint gun may not face charges.
And your nail technician might be joining the fight against domestic abuse. These are today's State Lines.
Chicago police say they probably won't charge a man who killed a robber this weekend. The robber walked into a currency exchange and held up a gun to a worker, but it turns out it was just a paint gun. A customer pulled out a gun and shot and killed the robber.
Illinois lawmakers are looking to nail salons for help with preventing domestic violence. The new law would require nail technicians and hairdressers to be trained to help spot signs of abuse. This would be the first law of this kind in the country.
A Cook County man is suing Pete's Coffee chain because he says they don't actually give people the amount of coffee they say they do. Pete's offers 2 sizes of coffee in what they call press pots. Robert Garrett claims the press pots have 25% less in them than what's advertised.
The University of Illinois is trying to cut back on how much food is thrown out at its dining halls. The university is now using smaller pans, and it expects to save almost $700,000 worth of food from being thrown out this school year. That's about 4% of their food budget. And that's today's State Lines.
Investigators still don't know what brought down a Russian passenger jet.
And the Navy believes it has found a ship that went missing during Hurricane Joaquin. Here's what's happening in today's World Watch.
Investigators are searching wreckage for clues about what could have caused a Russian plane crash that killed all 224 passengers. As of now, investigators believe some sort of mechanical problem caused the crash, and they say there's no sign of terrorism.
The U.S. Navy believes it's found the wreckage of the missing cargo ship El Faro. A Navy search team found the wreckage of a ship Saturday night in about 15,000 feet of water. El Faro went missing in October near the Bahamas during Hurricane Joaquin. 33 people, 28 Americans, and 5 Polish nationals were on board at the time.
An E. coli scare has temporarily closed more than 40 Chipotle restaurants. Health officials say 22 E. coli cases in Washington State and Oregon have been linked to the Chipotle locations. 8 people have been hospitalized, but there are no reported deaths. The contamination has been linked to only 6 restaurants.
The U.S. Episcopal Church has its first African-American spiritual leader. Michael Curry is the new presiding bishop as of Sunday. 62-year-old Curry takes Catherine Jefferts Scorse's position, who was the first woman to head the Episcopal Church nationwide. And that's today's World Watch.
Welcome to NTC Sports. I'm Ryan Mack. It's been a long, hard-fought month of baseball, but finally, the wait is over. Congratulations to the Kansas City Royals for winning the 2015 World Series. The Royals beat the New York Mets yesterday to win the series in 5 games. Let's see how the last game went. We go to the top of the 9th. Mets up 2-1. Salvador Perez hits a grounder to third. He's quickly thrown out, but the throw home goes wide, and Eric Hosmer is able to tie the game up with that run. Here's a replay of the throw. It goes way to the left. Now extra innings in the top of the 12th. Christian Colon drops one out to left field, and Eric Dyson easily scores on that hit. And 4 more runs later for the Royals, Wade Davis with the final pitch. He strikes out Wilmer Flores and makes history as the Royals are the 2015 World Series champions. The Chicago Bears season continues to tank after yesterday's game against the Minnesota Vikings. The Bears almost took home the win, but the last couple of minutes of the game sealed up their fate. Let's take a look. It's the first quarter with 4 minutes left. Bears up 3-0. A long punt, and Marcus Sherrills is there to return it. Sherrills is off. He finds a pocket on the right side of the field. Sherrills with the 65-yard punt return for a touchdown. Now moving on to the fourth quarter, tied at 13 apiece. Jay Cutler keeps it and makes a run. He slams into the defender, but Cutler scores the touchdown. Now Vikings with the ball. Teddy Bridgewater drops back and looks around. He tosses one up to Stephon Diggs. Diggs with room. He runs it, then spins into the end zone for a Vikings touchdown. Minnesota gets it back with 20 seconds left and a long pass to Charles Johnston. What an incredible catch on that one. He sets them up in field goal range, and Blair Walsh puts that one between the posts. Vikings win 23-20. Moving over to the NBA, the Chicago Bulls are starting the season strong. Last night's win against the Orlando Magic puts the Bulls to 3-1 in their first 4 games. Let's see some highlights from that game. We're up in the second quarter, Bulls up by 10. Gasol over to Doug McDermott. Dougie McBuckets hits the floater there. Now fourth quarter, Aaron Brooks with the dribble. He drives up the lane and puts a nice little hook off. Bulls now up by 15 points. Still in the fourth quarter, Magic trying to bring it back. They're within 6. And Victor Oladipo buries a 3-point shot to bring it within 3. Now Magic down by 5. Evan Fournier comes off the screen and drives in the lane, scoring with that finger roll. 10 seconds left now, Magic down by 5. Nikola Vucevic gets up a shot, but it misses. The Magic can't get another shot up at the end there, and the Bulls walk away with this one, 92-87. Staying in the NBA, let's take it to the Rockets-Warriors game from Friday for a one-handed slam. This is today's play of the day. We go to the first quarter of the game. The Warriors' Harrison Barnes ends up with the rock. He step fakes once and slam dunks over big man Dwight Howard. Let's look at this one more time. Barnes posterizes Dwight Howard with a nasty one-handed facial. Warriors take the win, and Harrison Barnes takes away today's play of the day. That's all for sports. Remember, the Blackhawks take on the LA Kings tonight. Always a good game. And the Bulls play the Charlotte Hornets tomorrow evening at 6. Thanks for watching. Emily Beebe will be back with more on Wednesday. Have a great week.
Coming up, forget fine food. The smartphone generation wants to know how fast they can get a pizza. We'll explain.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
Every generation gets labeled in some way. When it comes to those of us known as millennials, one word may say it all. Pizza.
Data from Venmo says millennials buy pizza more often than anything else. Venmo is a popular app millennials use to transfer money to each other in just a matter of seconds. This app is free for now, unless you use a credit card to pay someone. And you don't have to use the same bank as the person you're transferring money to. Venmo is owned by PayPal and is said to be one of the fastest growing apps in the world. But we have something better than an app to get the last word on weather. Let's go to Emery Danand at our weather station.
The beginning of this week will be in the 70s, but later towards the weekend, those temperatures will be dropping, so enjoy the warmth while you can.
Thanks, Emery, and thank you for being with us. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll be back this same time Wednesday. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everyone.